Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I thought I would try something a little bit different. I wanted to do a cook with me video. I've done the baking videos, but I don't think I've ever done a cooking video. So this will be my first cooking video and I thought I would take you along on this journey. I love cooking almost as much as I love baking, but today I'm gonna share with you a super easy, quick dinner recipe, and it's actually vegetarian. So it is currently Thursday, and every Thursday at my parents' house, they try to do a sort of meatless Monday on a Thursday. So today I'm taking a pasta recipe that I really love that usually actually does have chicken sausage in it, and I'm kind of making it veg. So I've never done this before, but I think it's gonna be really good. If you can hear my oven preheating, I apologize, it's a little bit loud. I'm already preheating it to 450 degrees because we're gonna be roasting some of our ingredients to put into our pasta sauce. So I apologize, it's really struggling to get up to 450. We'll do a quick ingredient rundown. This actually does not require that many ingredients, which is great. Hopefully you have most of these things at home already. So I'm gonna be using some whole mushrooms. These are just cremini mushrooms. You can get them whole or pre-sliced, whatever you like. 2 zucchinis, 2 yellow onions, sour cream, obviously not an entire container, but just some tomato paste, and your pasta of choice. I'm using the cavatappi, which is these little twisty bun noodles. First thing you want to do is chop up your zucchini because you're going to roast it in your oven. So I'm just going to take a baking sheet and line it with some foil, like so. Make sure you wash your veg. Perfect, 2 clean zucchinis. Gonna get out our knife. We're going to cut these zucchinis into half moons. So I've just taken off the little ends, and then I'm gonna slice down the zucchini like this, and then just cut little half moons like this. So I've got all my zucchini on my baking sheet. I'm gonna make sure it's nicely spread out. Gonna drizzle the zucchini with some olive oil and then season it with salt, pepper, and if you've got Italian seasoning, you can use that. If not, a mix of basil, oregano, thyme, all that good stuff. Because I personally don't have Italian seasoning in my house, I'm using oregano, parsley, and basil for this zucchini. Oregano smells so good. Okay, struggling to open it. Oh, success. Beautiful. Just gonna pop that in the oven for 14 to 16 minutes. Siri, set an alarm for 15 minutes.
The alarm is set for 17:23.
Okay, next step is chopping some onions. Got 2 yellow onions here. If you have red onions at home or shallots, you can probably use that. How you want to cut these is in long, thin slices. So we're making so much noise with this onion shell. Peel the skin onion shell, the top brown layer of the onion. We don't need it, not for this recipe. So when I'm trying to get thin slices out of my onion, what I like to do is once it's peeled, I'll cut down the center like this. So you've got 2 pieces, and then I'm just gonna thinly slice it this way. I like to go pretty thin here. This is going in your sauce, so it really just depends how much you like onion and how thick you like it, but I personally like it relatively thin. I've kind of sliced it like this, and then obviously it'll start breaking up in your pan, but kind of this thickness. Okay, now that one of my onions is done here, I'm actually gonna preheat a large pan. Very large. I'm making a lot of pasta today. I'm gonna preheat a large pan over like medium-high heat with some olive oil. I know I just said medium-high heat, but I think we're actually gonna start with medium and then work our way up if we need to. Wow, guys, I sliced a whole onion and didn't cry. First onion, ooh, went everywhere. Let's try that again. I'm gonna throw it into our pan. Does anyone else do this sort of meatless Mondays thing? Let me know what day of the week you've chosen to go meatless. Or maybe you're meatless always. Got any vegetarians out there? Let me know. Vegans, hit me up. Chopping onion number 2. And as soon as they're chopped, I'm gonna throw them right in. I like to kind of break them up in my hands a little bit if I can, and then do the rest of the breaking up in the pan. Gonna go in with a spatula. So right now this probably looks like a lot of onion, but when it starts to saute, it's gonna break down and kind of shrink, so do not be alarmed. I mean, I'm also making this for like 4 people, so. And I'm also gonna add just a little bit of salt. Mix that up again. Now that my sauce has gotten going, you can probably hear it sizzling away. I'm gonna start boiling my pasta, so I'm gonna fill up this big pot full of water. There we go. Next step in our sauce are our mushrooms. And actually clean up my workspace a little because I've got a lot of this going on, and keep the space clean, it's important. So as I mentioned earlier, this recipe did originally have meat in it. It was a chicken sausage pasta recipe. What I would do for that is use a sausage that I would just then break up in my pan. So to get that same consistency, which is almost like a ground beef or a ground chicken, ground meat, I guess, I'm gonna cut my onions really, really small. So I'm essentially, I guess, gonna dice them. You're welcome to cut them however you want. This is just the texture that I want for the recipe. So I'm cutting them in little cubes, kind of like this, sort of doing my best to emulate like a ground meat, and then throwing them right in the pan. You can wait to have all your mushrooms cut before you throw them in. I just kind of like to cut and cook, you know? I'm not really measuring how much of this I'm putting in. It really just depends how much you like mushrooms, how hearty you want your sauce to be. I just kind of eyeball it. I know that's probably not helpful, but it's the way my mom cooks, and it's very frustrating when I'm trying to learn a recipe and she can't tell me any of the ingredients, and now I feel like I'm doing the same thing. We just got a huge dump of snow in Toronto. I feel like whenever it's cold and snowy, I always want like a really hearty dinner. And I think this is gonna hit the spot quite nicely. It's been about 10 minutes now. All of our onion and mushroom is in there. Like I said, the onion has softened. The mushroom's getting a really nice color on it. You are gonna get a little bit of water in your pan, and that's just the mushrooms releasing their juices. The longer they're on here, the more sort of brown and fried they're gonna get once they release all that moisture. Yeah, this is the start of our sauce. It's looking amazing, it's smelling really good. I did add another pinch of salt and a little bit more black pepper. So our pasta sauce is cooking away, still waiting on this massive pot of water to boil. Once the water boils, we got our pasta in, we're gonna get our nice, starchy, amazing pasta water, which I believe Bon Appetit has said is called liquid gold. So a cup of that starchy pasta water is going to be the next step in our sauce. So gotta wait for this to get going for us to move on. Our zucchini has been done for some time. Yeah, nice. Okay, in the perfect world, I'd wait for a better rolling boil, but to be quite honest, I'm just really impatient, so we're gonna put the pasta in. This is where we're at, and it's good enough for me. And then we're gonna do a really healthy salting of the water. Turn the heat down to like a medium high. Let this cook for about 8 or 9 minutes and our pasta will be done. Okay, now that our pasta has been cooking for a few minutes, we're going to take some of the pasta water and use it to make our sauce. So I'm literally going in with like a regular cup. Be very careful. I'm gonna dip that in. Got about like a cup's worth, and I'm gonna dump it into our saucepan. Then I'm gonna add about 5 tablespoons of tomato paste. You can use whichever tomato paste you like. I just like this one because it's in this sort of reusable tube thing, and I think it's very convenient for cooking with. We've turned our heat back up. We're just going to mix the tomato paste in with our pasta water to create a nice sauce. And once that's nicely mixed in, we're going to add in our spices. Going with some basil first, and some oregano. Looking nice. Okay, pasta is ready, so now we are going to drain it. Before I drain it though, I made sure I reserved about another cup of the pasta water just in case we need it for our sauce. Also adding in about a tablespoon of butter and about 4 tablespoons of sour cream. And our zucchini. Once all that stuff is in, mix it up. Even though I did reserve more pasta water, I'm liking the consistency on this sauce, so I don't think I'm going to add any more. But if at this stage you're finding that your noodles are looking a little dry, you're not getting that beautiful glossy finish on them, or you don't have enough pasta sauce, then just go in with your reserved pasta water. I like to do about a tablespoon at a time until you reach your desired sauce consistency. All right guys, that is it. Now is my favorite part of the recipe because it's time to eat and I'm very, very hungry and very excited to try this recipe. So let me know if you guys gave it a shot, what you think. If you guys enjoy these sort of cooking videos, serve up this meal with some Parmesan cheese and enjoy. Anyway, I'll do some B-roll of me putting it in a plate or something, but other than that, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week.